The Golden Girls are on. I finally found them on somewhere. They're on Country Music CMT. Thank God. Normally they're on Hallmark. Man, they're all the way on till 3 in the morning. Thank God. I was getting depressed not being able to watch them. There's something I look forward to at night. I've seen almost, I think, every episode. I probably have seen every episode. But I like comforting things. People think that it's being stuck, which in a sense it is a little bit, but at the same time, whatever, 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 whatever. I took the chocolate. It's scored to break it in half, but each one of those pieces of chocolate's 110 milligrams. So half would be 55 milligrams. So I broke it into 4 pieces. Normally I break it into 8 pieces. So that's what, around 27 milligrams? I'm not hallucinating or delusional. I'm laying in bed. The walls aren't closing in on me. I don't see any psychedelic trip colors or anything. The only bad thing about the edibles is, unless you go, they don't make many full spectrum edibles. I should have went ahead and gone and spent that money and got those edibles that I had found on sale today at Have a Heart, but I didn't. If I'd had the extra money, I probably would have, but they make these RSO gummies, and then the RSO syringe was on sale, and I thought I could always apply like a dab of it to a chocolate and try it that way. Pain is amazing right now. The pain level, like I don't, like this is like I'm assuming what normal people would feel like that don't have pain. I don't feel euphoric. I did have the munchies, and I satisfied that craving with something that was left over she told me to eat anyway, some pizza she picked up at Panera. They're not that bad. And then I ate a pickle. But otherwise, the symptoms, like there's no psychosis, there's no, like I feel calm as a cucumber. Granted, I can't say that it's just the cannabis product, because I do have that half of a Percocet and a Valium in me as well. It comes to the point they question, well, is it withdrawal or are they legitimate symptoms? As the patient living through this for 36 years, I can say that they're legitimate symptoms. I've never experienced psychosis to the level I experienced it while being a binge alcoholic in later years. But then again, they had me on that crazy new age pain medication as well that didn't do anything except make me aggressive. I told Dr. Cole Glazer about that. I'm like, the tramadol and the Nucynta, for some reason, make me like a person I can't even stand. And he was like, oh, well, that is notated. And I'm like, well, can't we go back to what actually worked? No, Percocet or Control 2 substances, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whatever. And it got to the point that I would take a Nucynta or a Tramadol in hopes of pain relief, only for it to become worse. I don't understand why they affected me that way, but they did. It was a nightmare. Just like Lyrica. While it worked better than any pain medicine I've really ever tried, because, it's designed for neuropathic pain, the disinhibition and the negative side effect profile was a problem. I don't ever really recall abusing the Lyrica. I accidentally took one too many one time because I forgot I had taken it, and it's like, well, hell, there's no need to drink tonight. This is worse, per se, than an opiate. I just wish that I could feel secure enough in my own home. Whatever. Lucky me. I think it's hilarious, and not really, that these people decided that me rubbing dolls on my crotch and pissing the bed until high school were not signs of sex trauma. The medical evidence is there, but because the pervert physicians who were involved are with the goddamn law enforcement's family now. Or shall I go into more detail about Bob and Sean, their debt, and their goddamn prescription pads? I am sick to death of trying to help these goddamn people curb crime only for them to claim I'm paranoid. I mean, granted, Mason County is a small area and they have to keep it going the best they can, but they should have thought about that before allowing all this sick shit with drugged, raped children and then normalizing it through their stupid ass fucking religion. It's so annoying. Just so fucking annoying. Like I said, one person's heaven is another person's hell, and that's exactly how they wanted it to be. That is why I do not agree with the Catholic view of the afterlife. Well, instead of going straight to heaven or hell, you have to work your way to it. When we die, we're just dead. Oh, so ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and there came Adam, and a rib turned into a woman for him. Ugh. Never. Anything you say and do can and will be used against you in a court of law. So now I'm going to go through and tell all the horrible things they did to me. Now, Now it feels like somebody wrapping something around my mouth. I want you. Uh, uh, ah. I'm not going anywhere with any more goons. They always make sure I wind up punished. Then when I close my eyes, I see the pearly gates. Most doctors will sit and tell you that those things seen are just chemicals in the brain as it's shutting down, which they very well could be correct about that. At the same time, they could be wrong. You know what? My apologies. I wish that mom and dad would have listened to me on redoing the rental properties and working on the house more, but they had to have their way at every turn, which is why after he died and the toilet that hadn't been functional for years, it had to go. Cut out part of the septic line in the house and replace it, and bingo. Now it's a flushable toilet that actually works. Just have to pour some drain cleaner down the shower because of the hair every once in a while, and it's good to go. Although I had picked out a cheaper shower head package thing, I should have gone with Moen or something that was better built. Oh well. You live and you learn. Whatever. I think it's disgusting that I had my ass nailed to the wall over cannabis. I can tell you that much. Legality does not always equal morality, especially when people in that area are allowed to do whatever in the hell they want to just because of their, piece of paper from an important person. I'll have to see what they're doing tomorrow on sale at Have a Heart. Isn't it beautiful? The symbolism my sister and mother used. Instead of loading stuff into my suitcases so that I could bring them up here as well, they just put my shit in garbage bags because that's how they saw me. So for them to sit and play the victim about my suicide with their sick shit, oh well. Yeah, my sister gave a damn about our mother. Most daughters would recommend their mother get size for a bra, wouldn't they? Not mine. Because that's how fucking disgustingly hateful the cunt is. Oh well. Oh, my apologies for offending anyone. It's not so funny when the joke's on them, is it? Hmm. So weird. Who knows? I wanted to sell when Dad died. I smell dick. It's weird. If I were doing yoga and in that pose, I could understand smelling dick. Not quite sure why I'm smelling dick now. Not that I'm complaining. It's crazy. I am sexually attracted to men. I always have been. I always will be. Straight men. Why straight men? Why, God? Why? Why straight men? Why straight men? Honestly, why straight men? Ugh. And you know, to be quite honest, I think cannabis is safer than the opiates and such because you might be able to take more of it and it have more of a benefit. But the higher the dosage, I don't notice the increase in like euphoria. Like, that's the whole reason that people become addicted to opiates, because of the euphoria, the high feeling. I never really got that. In the beginning, I did on opiate-based pain management, but by the time I was moved on to long-acting pain medicine and such, I never experienced the euphoria. And with this, cannabis, there is some euphoria. It's just, I don't know, there's so much shit going on right now in my life that it makes it hard to truly sit back and actually relax and let the giggles kick in, rather, or for lack of a better phrase. Then again, what in the hell is there to laugh about? Other than, you know, something funny on the Golden Girls or... whatever those are. Those weird convulsion-like things that I'm going through right now because of the change in temperature. It's weird. Sorry. disappear. Oh. Never. So the cops proving that, the hallucinations and delusions aren't accurate will be epic as well. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were just a hallucination. Oh, so you're proving that those physicians were full of shit. Oh, my apologies. So, again, let's go over the Anthem network of perverts and their other buddies covering it up for them in psychiatry and psychology, and just flat out failing to give a shit. With their homophobic, transphobic, anti-cannabis agenda. Ugh, I need to shave this. Trim it down to nothing. I need to order a razor because hers is getting dull. She told me to just use hers. I need to order one. For some reason, no matter how much I scrub my face, like scrub it, exfoliate it with a exfoliating face wash, or use like one of the power brushes, dry skin builds up in my beard horribly. And my skin has always been so odd, dry, but oily. So crazy. And then I have that weird lupus like rash thing on discoloration over the bridge of my nose and stuff, indicating autoimmune, but who knows? I get tired of even talking about the symptoms because it's like every doctor I've ever seen just dismissed them as nothing. Honestly, that's how I feel at this point. Every doctor I've ever truly seen, even though they might have been palliative and had good bedside manner, they just marked it off as nothing because guess what? Oh, he's just a young kid with good health insurance looking for pain pills. No, fortunately, I wasn't that type of person. And I just can't begin to tell you how suspicious it is that neither MetaView nor the University of Kentucky notated those skull fractures. For anybody to claim that that's not odd and it's just paranoia, you're probably involved. They didn't even notate them, stating, oh, we see older skull fractures or blah, 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 whatever, however they would notate it. If I can see them as a non radiologist, obviously they're there. And if the radiologist had bothered to notate them, then at least the doctors could have had enough goddamn sense to ask if I was a victim of domestic violence. Well, any doctor who viewed the imaging should have noticed them, but nobody said a thing, nobody did a thing, and I was supposed to just sit back and keep my goddamn mouth shut, all the while having to scrub shit by hand, all the while the Woods complaining about me using CLR on the rust stains on their counters while scrubbing them clean. Be quiet, let me try to clean this house how I know how to do it. If the scent of the cleaning stuff gets on your whatever, then I'll stop cleaning. Be quiet. God, you are not doing me a goddamn favor, paying me to clean your fucking house because you're too goddamn lazy to do it after every fucking thing that you all put me through. I told you I'd clean this house for free because that's how much I love you. But no, you feel guilty, so you feel like you have to pay me to do it. All the while bitching about how I do it. Be quiet. You do not need antibiotics from 1998 that you didn't even take, like probably 2 or 3 of them. No wonder you're still sick with those sinus things. Plus, you should have gone to see my doctor like I told you to a long time ago. I have got to get an appointment with Dr. Sassler. I've got to see that man. Debbie would really benefit. If Dr. Gutowski is still in practice, Debbie would really benefit. She'd probably feel 10 times better than she does if she would actually let someone who knows what the fuck they're doing go up into her sinuses and fix them the way they're supposed to be. They modified mine. They didn't just go in and clean them out, as like my family calls it. They went in and modified mine, put in new drainage pathways so that I wouldn't get sick, and that worked. It worked perfectly. It's like Debbie, she's like, they didn't pack your sinuses full of that stuff, and I'm like, not that I can remember. Then again, I wake up pretty much every day blank, trying to go on as best as I can. Nobody wants to believe the dementia symptoms either because that makes them feel guilty for all the physical trauma they caused. Oh well. You know what? I'm detailing what I recall happening. Being at Donald and Debbie's for no reason, wondering, what are we doing here? How did we get here? What happened? And it wasn't me being bipolar and blacking out during a manic aggressive episode. Like I said, people with PTSD disassociate quite a bit, from what I understand, which could explain it. But then the chill pill, go outside and yell with the chill pills and blah, 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 it doesn't explain that. But I do believe it's PTSD and secondary DID. Only because, I am gay, I am nonconforming, I did get my ass kicked over dressing up as a woman from time to time. If they're going to get it, the mental health aspect, on file, I would appreciate it if they would at least diagnose it correctly and not just for liability reasons. Though those people deserve to have that notated, that their trauma caused me to have PTSD. Hell, if they don't get the diagnoses correct, then they can't possibly even begin to think of treating it correctly. Like I said, most physicians would love to sit and say, oh my God, it's cannabis-induced psychosis. I wish it were, because then I could stop the cannabis and the THC and whatever, and it would go away. Unfortunately, that is not the case. The cannabis, the THC, the combination of medications that I take, well, let me just start with saying the cannabis, THC, and then if I need to, part of a Percocet and part of a Valium, work beautifully. And that's all that fucking matters. Who gives a shit if they're controlled substances? It's not like I'm selling them. It's not like I'm abusing them. Yes, I tried to kill myself because at that point I had lost all hope. At least the doctor seems much more receptive now to, if you believe that this is what's going on, then we'll send you to them and see what's happening. The newest neurologist who I'm going to be, I don't care if he does try to rush me out. I'm going to sit there and talk and tell him everything. The Mayo Clinic or something along those lines probably wouldn't be that bad of an idea where they could observe me in a non psychiatric setting along with all the symptoms and stuff. But the only thing that I think would be covered might be the Cleveland Clinic since I'm in Ohio. And they're pretty good from what I understand. I just know that I was left with a lot of symptoms due to that skull fracture. And it was just, rationalized because that's how they were raised. My dad used to hit us over the head with tobacco sticks. And, I could swear it was dad that did that night. But there was something else going on that night. There are just way too many details and too many what? Too many whats in this story to be like, there was absolutely nothing or no involvement or whatever. The Golden Girls, they can always lift my spirits. I have no clue. You know what? I am so sorry for any grief and pain I may have caused anyone. Those doctors should have known better than to convince me I was hallucinating and delusional. I admitted to alcohol related psychosis and they refused to believe it. How fucking crazy can these fucking lunatics be with covering up what they did? I admitted that I was experiencing the legal issues because of alcohol related psychosis. They blamed it on cannabis, and that wasn't even in my system. How fucking sick can they be? They are stuck in the belief system that one exposure, one episode related to cannabis exposure opens the door to total chaos in mental health. While that may be the case for a select subgroup of patients who are predisposed to mental health conditions, I truly don't believe that that is how it happened with me or what's going on with me. I would admit it if I believed it because I am for scientific evidence, the results, and treatment. Above all else, I am for my health. Why in the hell would I sit and deny something that could be causing me harm when I feel like shit to the point I have been determined to get to the bottom of it since I was 16? It turns out it's pretty much, the skull fracture and all that goddamn related trauma from it. Nothing but a load of fucking bureaucratic red tape bullshit. That's just my opinion. It might be a little bit biased, but you know what? I know the pain I go through. Most of the times, especially after the long based morphine, Dr. Morris thought I brought that into his office to ask him to refill it for me. What an idiot. I brought the bottles into his office to show him proof of my medical record, what I had been on and was going through, and to see if he would be okay just doing, like, as needed. He was an arrogant prick about it. You're not putting me in jail. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what? I think I do have one regret in life other than nicotine, and that's being so goddamn stupid I could never say no. And that's not to, drinking or using cannabis. That's to being so afraid of people and saying no that I was coerced and entrapped into doing shit sometimes that no, I don't want to take you somewhere. No, I don't want to be involved in whatever you're doing. Then again, like I said, the Zoloft caused so much fucking disinhibition. I can't imagine what the other drugs really were like. That's one thing that I think in the medical profession they need to completely wipe off the table, at least in their minds, and find out new alternatives. People under the age of 18 should not, doctors should not be allowed to place them on antidepressant medications unless it's like an absolute emergency, like suicidal ideation. First line of treatment should be psychotalk therapy. But then people claim they can't afford it or they don't have time for it, and doctors have touted these pills as magic. It's fucking sickening. And the people that buy into it out of desperation is just beyond, it's not beyond me because I understand it. If you have never experienced true health problems, count your blessings. Like I said, the mental health, I had to get over that stuff a long time ago, or else I would have died. The physical things are harder to overcome, especially when doctors realize that, you're not being malingering, you're not feigning. And then, treatment. Like I said, the cannabis, I don't feel intoxicated when I'm on it. Not like with alcohol, not like with opiates. Yes, when I first vape, like of a morning or something, the initial 5 or 10 minutes, my anxiety is a little bit worse, but I have been in legal trouble and I'm always fearful of law enforcement. Always. Even though I know I have more proof that I can use it now perfectly legally here, those Kentucky State Troopers threatening me recently, it's like, you know what? I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot. I'm not trying to, down anybody. I'm not trying to put whatever. This is what I remember. These things really did happen. There was something wrong and criminal going on. It's worth investigating, especially with so many people in the areas that are involved. Campbell County, Mason County, Bracken County, Scioto County, Hamilton County, Fayette County. But forgive me for overstepping since I don't have my license to practice law or medicine or my brass. All I ever wanted was to be happy, healthy, to be loved, to love. And it just plays in perfectly. My family can sit back and say, oh, we loved him unconditionally. We never said a word out of the way about being gay. He's just making that up. And that's how they have always been. It's like, are you kidding me? Those self proclaimed anti-government anarchists. This is exactly what they wanted because they knew I would be crushed under all this psychological stress and try to kill myself. They'd be able to take my story, sue the hell out of everybody involved in it, or try to, because of the ties they made kissing ass. Judge Razor, Judge Blau, among others, played right into their sick, psychological, dumbass game of anti-government nonsense. You all think that I have a problem with authority or law enforcement or you know cannabis is illegal. Well, take it up with Anthem's network. The same physicians seeing Charlotte Wentz saying, who cares if it's legal or not? Your all's form of entrapment, unless you truly were doing the right thing, which cannabis is the right thing for some people. That form of entrapment is sickening. I was punished for being gay. Whatever. Then watch them take credit for all of it. Oh, we were just trying to study it. Well, thank God the Senate and the House passed the research part of it today, anyway. Now President Biden has to sign off on it, which he should. But at least, the Biden administration is ahead of the curve. By 2025, all U.S. funded research has to be made public. And a lot of the cannabis research to date, the United States has funded outsourced in other countries because it didn't originate in the United States. It's not a matter of being able to request it. And it doesn't really hold up in a court of law because, oh, well, that happened in another country. But it was U.S. funded. Oh, well, that's beside the point. Well, under the Biden administration, by 2025, all U.S. funded research has to be made public record for the United States of American citizens. You cannot imagine the amount of money we have invested in Israel for them to research cannabis. And when I was drafted on that topic, they had also told me, and whether it's true or not, it needs verified. They had also told me that that conversion reparative therapy program had a strong hand in Israel because it's biblical in the Bible. The crooked neck thing, that's part of the conversion reparative therapy for gays and unruly kids. And if you'll notice, Israel just this year outlawed conversion reparative therapy after I had been talking about it. But that needs verified, obviously. People probably wonder, how in the hell do you know all this shit? Don't ask me. You have no clue how much that fraudulent medical documentation has been wearing on me because I know the implications of having to stand in a courtroom or sit in a courtroom and detail exactly what I remember happening, only to be cross examined and drilled about it. Well, if you were experiencing these symptoms or the hallucinations, blah, 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 and then having to articulate my words as a domestic violence rape survivor having a major stroke or two. Take your time, talk slowly. Yes, I have to sit and remind myself of that. Do I seem like I'm intoxicated? Like I have to sit and question everything. As I said, Patrick Boggs knew exactly what he was doing when he used the phrase, I do things the right way around here. It's what my father meant right before he died, not like when he was crazy before he died, but like when he was still in his right state of mind before he died. I don't want you to lose it when you realize what we did. And I was like, I know what you're talking about. I don't think I'm going to lose it. But then again, I never expected Patrick Boggs and Alfred Sims to play their sick fucking dick measuring contest. Yes, my father told me all about your all's goddamn disgusting shit. Not to mention the air quote accidents OVFD and Mason County Sheriff's Department were in on. But they weren't really accidents. They were their vigilante bullshit version of justice. And that was my father's deathbed confession as an outcry witness yet again to me. Just like with him getting his ass kicked for outing Maysville Police Department and their disgusting date rape bullshit. That's why my parents used to get so upset about me going out downtown with the girls, because of what they had been through. You know what? I am so sorry. Whatever. I wanted to sell when Dad died because I knew I wouldn't be able to keep up with everything. But that's not what she had in mind. Complaining about the house being too large, too much to keep up with, but she wasn't going to get rid of it. Well, where will you go if we do liquidate? Why don't you focus on getting what I would like done, and if I have problems in the future, I'll come back to you like a normal human being, instead of you all constantly casting doubt on every move I want to make simply because it's not what you want. But if I would sit and try to have this conversation with them, they would sit and blow me off like I sit and roll my eyes and puh them. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well. Now my hands feel numb again. I got up out of the bed, moved to the bathroom because I needed to urinate. Whatever. You know what? My family made their stance quite clear on all this sick shit. And for Kentucky to claim that they're this there's some goddamn superior morality fucking state is beyond me. I deserve to be able to quietly sue my goddamn fucking perps. But instead, now, because of the Kentucky legislature, if I want anything done, any type of compensation or anything, I have to press criminal charges against them. And do you know how many death threats I've had over that? So instead, I decided to go public with everything, thanks to the Kentucky legislators making it impossible for sex trafficking victims to sue. Oh, well, you know, you had 2 years by the time from 18 to 20 to sue. Kentucky has designed their system to be so fucking disgusting, it's ridiculous. Those facial product formulations I sent to the Bashirs, the company will be called Bashir Beauty. They are worth a fortune. Only for him to sign that executive order, basically telling Kentuckians to commit a federal felony crime. Not just a felony crime, a federal felony crime. Of course, the fucking law people are going to challenge it because, hello, you're telling Kentuckians to cross state lines with a federally illegal substance. Not only is it a felony, it's a federal felony. And it's just so cute that you decided to attach, hey, Keep your receipt proving you bought it out of state so that we can nail your ass to the wall. The executive order for cannabis in Kentucky until the legislators get off their goddamn asses should be a limited home grow, because it makes perfect sense. You can purchase cannabis seeds because, as I said, they're legal. Grow 2 or 3 plants at home. Keep it under half a pound, 8 ounces. And, be done with it. Oh, I don't need another cup of tea. Don't need it. I want one, but I don't need it. Not to mention, it is so frustrating that people don't recognize the symptoms of a stroke other than paralysis. Aggression can be signs of a stroke. They don't care. In today's times, even though there's separation of church and state, allegedly, because of what the Bible says about all this mental illness and everything, they see it as their mission from God, as the chosen ones. It's so depressing. Fix a cup of herbal tea this time. I never wanted anybody to get into trouble or anything over this. At the same time, I didn't think it was my place to carry this burden anymore. Let's face it, that's all it has ever been. Well, at least I got all that laundry done and the Christmas stuff is put up inside, and that's something to be grateful for. I try to be grateful for the little things anymore. Access to clean, safe medical cannabis, or access to clean, safe cannabis. As drug addict that might sound, I had to have some form of pain management that wasn't deteriorating my body, like the opiates. The opiates literally sludged up my gallbladder. After years and years of eating non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like candy, because doctors couldn't believe that I was in so much pain all the time. My mother smothered me with a pillow when I was an infant, then swung me around by my legs, pretty much dislocating them. That's why they look so fucked up in that one photo of me as an infant. To my father and his law enforcement buddies blunt force bludgeoning me one evening just for the hell of it because I'm gay. You all don't know the half of the hell I went through because you never took the time to get to know me. You just saw the platinum credit card, my Coach bag, my nice cars, and thought, oh, he's one of us. He knows what's up. Yes, I know what's up, and I don't agree with it. You people are into your shit that washes out of your system within enough time for you to get a random. Oh, well, the private contractors come in the first of the year at DP&L. That's when we know we have to clean our shit up. Yeah, I know. And yet you see me advocating for cannabis publicly. not being bothered by law enforcement very much. Cannabis is a lower priority in Kentucky, especially for people who aren't peddling it. Then again, they were just adding my sins up, waiting to see when I would push back against what they were doing with the laced cannabis. Well, as I said, I would have if Kim Razor had followed due process. This is going to blow up in your face and mine. Everybody's. And, like I said, when Mr. Boggs sent Devin Hall out to fetch me that day in January of 2020, I knew the day of reckoning was upon us. Ryan Hall is one thing. Letting him go due to my bitchery for no reason and then sending Devin out. You have not been paying attention, Mr. Boggs. You made me cry in 2015. You hired people that were threatening our home and lives with their goddamn date rape drug shit. Never once paying attention to me talking about the devil and this gang activity or whatever the fuck it is within your department and in the community in Mason County. And if it's appropriate what Matt Lewis did to me, then I don't know you people at all. And I don't have any regrets talking about Kim Razor and her goddamn rapey fucking family. Or regrets about talking about my rapey goddamn family and extended family. Both sides of it. All these things truly did happen to me, and you people just signed off on it blindly in their anti-government fucking bullshit. I hate to ask, or I hate to make it sound so offensive and disrespectful because I truly am not trying to be disrespectful. But how stupid can you be to just blindly listen to those kinds of people who claim, my God, he's crazy. We're trying to have his best interests at heart. While that might be true on the surface, you have to understand their core values. This is exactly what they wanted. Look how much goddamn trouble this is stirring up within the goddamn judicial system. And it's not me just being a crybaby about it. You people forced me onto suicide-causing medication in favor of their goddamn incestual, rapey, fucking human trafficking. As I said, I did not mean to be offensive or disrespectful, but how stupid can you be to blindly sign on to those kinds of people's anti-government agenda? Look how much trouble it has created. And do you think I fucking enjoy that? No. I'll probably be held in contempt of court 100 times if this ever happens because I'll be late every fucking time. All because of their sick fucking neuropsychiatric creation. It's so fucking sickening I can't even begin to describe it. What in the hell is on this cover? And you know what? No amount of therapy, no amount of medication is ever going to fix any of this. It had been fixed somewhat for quite some time. It is not my fault that Dad died, Mom couldn't make up her mind, and Shell and Michael had it set in their minds how it was going to be. And because I couldn't work, they were somehow superior. You know what? I was proud of them for all they had accomplished in their lives. Knowing everything and everything I had been through. Why wouldn't I be proud of them? Unless my sister's had an MRI and I can view it, I'd like to see whether her skull was fractured when we were kids or not. I don't cling to that, but you know what? The physical symptoms that it left me with are a nightmare. I can only assume after reading the Crawford's detailed story that he feels like he's living inside of a tornado all the time after being crushed in that car accident. Well, after being smothered 3 times that I can remember, poisoned twice, blunt force bludgeon trauma, it's like I live in a tornado all the time. And welcome to my mobile world of not having anyone, there for me like Michelle is for him, of not, people looking at me and saying, you don't need walking devices. You don't need assistive devices. You don't need a cane. You're lazy. If you would take that administrative law judge, if you'd take the time to examine this imaging and have a medical expert show you where my skull was fractured and this blood crushing my brain causing neuropathic injury, maybe you could understand why it is so difficult for me to walk. And it's not because I'm intoxicated. But instead, I had to shut my fucking mouth over Fayette County's sick-ass goddamn shit with their cops asking if kids are home alone, and then therapy on East Maxwell. Oh, just all huge fucking coincidences. So let me tell you about the Commonwealth of Kentucky and their sick-ass shit in permanently disabling their fucking people just so they can fucking incarcerate them. Rape the gay away conversion therapy. If you all think the DEA and cartel whores are bad, you don't have a fucking clue. Local government, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, they do it every day with their own citizens. You expect that type of corruption within a federal government organization like the Drug Enforcement Agency. Or at least I do. Even though it's not correctly or not exactly moral or ethical, it's expected. You don't expect that out of a state government. Law enforcement bludgeoning kids and mashing them like potatoes and raping the gay out of them. Saying it's the devil doing it. How goddamn sick can they fucking be? Oh well. Like I said, I still can't believe my own story. How in the hell did all this happen? I made another cup of tea and I don't need it, but oh well. Anything to fucking calm myself down. I could try to do some more stretching, but the THC, the cannabis is kicking in. It's not like an intoxication equilibrium balance issue so much as it is a muscular relaxation and weakness thing. But when suffering from such severe spasticity, and it is spasticity, it's way past the point of just plain old muscle spasms. Sometimes my left leg, the spasticity in it is enough to make me want to go out and get the chainsaw and cut it off. And it happens at night when I'm laying in bed. It's so fucking sickening. Then again, maybe it's me being tasered and just not realizing it. Because like I said, they turned rape into nothing more than a delusion. So shall I describe Jeff Hord's dick in a little more detail, or someone else first? I will be taking broad state, federal, and international immunity, especially detailing this sick shit. Herbal tea and honey. I'm experimenting with the THC level to see what dosage, like, literally puts me down, kind of like an antipsychotic would. Now I can feel the left rib being squeezed again as I'm being choked half to death, feeling like I'm intubated. This whole thing has just been nothing but some huge nightmare and terrorism. I just gave up. I couldn't handle it anymore. As if the physical pain wasn't bad enough. All that extra stress and psych trauma, thanks to the new people trying to establish their dominance like fucking hyenas or something. You know what? You all have fun. Like I said, you all have fun explaining my suicide attempt not due to my mental health or my physical health, surprisingly. Not due to my true psychiatric mental health issues. PTSD and DID, suicide's common enough with those people. I did not try to kill myself because of myself. I tried to kill myself because I saw that as the only option out of not guilt, not being guilty, not because, oh my God, they're not going to punish me, but because of all the added stress of this shit that they had created in the first place. Forcing me into medical treatment to cover up their human trafficking and those judges just blindly signing off on it. You know what? You took photos of property damage on Springdale Road in Mason County, Kentucky, but you never once asked if I had done it, nor did you ask if anyone else had done it, because you didn't give a shit. You simply listened to one of my human traffickers who had tried to kill me 4 times in the past. All the while, Patrick Boggs and his family giving them a pat on the back for one of the poisoning episodes. I swear to God. Patrick Boggs' family, including Vicki Denton Sapp, giving my family a pat on the back for poisoning me one time. They can claim they didn't have a clue what was going on, but whose fucking fault is that? Ask Susan Grayson at Administrative Records to pull up the, oh, well, he's failing this quarter because he doesn't have a doctor's excuse. As I asked, whose fault is that? They should have asked questions. Instead, they gave my family a pat on the back. We just wanted to let you know he failed, right on schedule. Oh, well, no wonder Patrick Boggs' family would be right along with that goddamn ride after what I spoke about him and what I can remember. Oh, well. It's just been one fucking headache after another, I swear to God. And I have managed them all the best I can. Supposed to lean on family, huh? Yeah, Bonnie, I need to go to the hospital. I had a stroke. Donna, I had a stroke. I ain't got time. Well, I canceled my massage today. Tammy Werline Brown will be down there after a while to get you. Oh, hallelujah. We'll listen to Flo Rida Get Low or whatever on the way. Family my ass.